Hi everyone, thank you very much for joining. Today's webinar is gonna be focused on the quarterly product updates for Q4 2024. First of all, I want to wish you a happy new year, and we're gonna give a couple of minutes for everyone to join, and then we can start. Today's webinar is going to be divided into two parts. So in the first part, I'm going to go through some slides and show you all the releases that we had in the last quarter by month. And then I'm going to try to demo some of the main releases into our software. So it's a more demonstrative way to go through all the product releases. Okay, so I guess we can start. So before starting the webinar, I would like to remind you of Pulse, our renewable energy conference organized by RatedPower. So this year is going to be the third edition of the event. It's going to happen on April 3rd and 4th here in Madrid. You can get the early bird tickets in our website. They're going to be available there, and you can get like early bird tickets with 50% off until February. So I would really suggest you to join this conference, because the last 2 years has been amazing, with sharing a lot of the latest updates of what's happening in the renewable energy in general. It's been a very nice place to meet and connect with stakeholders in the sector. A little bit of myself. My name is Enio Gjoni. I am a product owner for the interconnection team within RatedPower. My background is in electrical engineering, more focused on power system engineering, and I'm going to be your speaker today for this webinar focused on the product updates for the last quarter. So as I said in the beginning, today's webinar is going to be divided in two parts. So first of all, I want to do a presentation of all the main major updates that we've had in the last quarter. So I'm just going to focus on the major updates. Apart from major updates, we'll also have like other smaller minor ones, and also like a lot of bug fixes, a lot of user flow corrections. But yes, we've had like quite an extensive quarter. I'd like to focus only on the major ones. So having said that, we can move to the first part, which is the releases that we launched in October. So the first major release that we had in October was the new OPEX units for the financial KPIs. So this was a really great enhancement to the whole financial analysis features within RatedPower. So the objective of this feature was to define new units for the operational expenditure, so for the OPEX. The users are now able to define these OPEX values for their project based on different new units, like the AC power, the available area, but also now they can introduce a fixed price for their OPEX. These units are used to calculate the OPEX for the first year, and then the escalation factor that the users can can introduce here. This escalation factor is applied to all the units to calculate the OPEX for the following year. So whatever input is here is going to be used directly for the first year, and then the escalation factor is going to be applied to calculate the following years. As I said, this is a very great enhancement for all the financial analysis package that we have within our software. So it really enhances the calculations, and it will enhance as well the results for your financial KPIs for the designs that you're gonna be doing within RatedPower. The second update for October was the notification center, one of my personal favorites. So the notification center is a new feature that ensures that the users will always have access to the latest feature releases and also important updates. So it's a really nice way, and it enhances a lot the communication between RatedPower and its users. So the value of this feature is like centralized access. So the users can now find all these notifications about new features, updates of releases, and more in one place and organized. And as I said, it will improve as well the communication between RatedPower and its users. So in the main interface of RatedPower, I'm going to show this as well during the demo later. The users are going to find this notification center icon here. By clicking that, they can see all the new notifications or all the pending notifications that they need to read in order to get the latest news and the latest updates coming from our teams. The third update and release for October was an enhancement to the topologies that we provide as part of the flexible interconnection schema. So we've added one more topology that the users can benefit from when designing their interconnection schema within RatedPower. And now the users can assign a unique interconnection facility to a battery energy storage system. So this feature introduces the possibility to design this interconnection facility dedicated to the storage area, and this facility can either be a substation or a switching and breaking station, so an SBS station. So as I said, this enhances a lot the topology of the interconnection schema that the users can design when designing and calculating and running the feasibility studies for their hybrid plant. So now they can assign a dedicated facility just for the battery energy storage system. The fourth and last update for October is the satellite image embedded in the battery energy storage layout. So users are now users can now download the battery layout in the DXF format with an aerial image embedded to it. This update is a bit peculiar because it only applies to the DXF files, and the satellite image will only be visible exclusively for AutoCAD for Windows. So that is the limitation as for now. The PDF versions of the document will remain unchanged. When we say the PDF versions of the PDF versions that we produce within our document output in RatedPower, the workaround is the users in AutoCAD for Windows can export the PDF versions of that design with the satellite image as a background directly from AutoCAD. Also, internally, we are working to provide you the PDF versions with a satellite image, and we're going to have it released soon. We're going to notify about it. Having said that, we can jump to the releases of November. So for November, we have our main release, so the long-awaited standalone battery energy storage system. So now RatedPower allows user to design standalone battery energy storage system. So this is a huge breakthrough for our software because the users now they will not have the need to design a hybrid plant, so to have a PV area alongside their battery energy storage system. But now the whole software has a section that is dedicated and is focused only on BESS design and analysis. So within this part of the software, the users can generate battery energy storage system layouts. They can calculate cabling, they can calculate design and calculate the earthworks, and everything without having the need to have a PV plant aside from it. The same as in the PV plant design or in the hybrid plant design, the users can create their battery energy storage system sites directly through the interface through our in-house site creation tool, or they can import elements from a DWG file, a KML file, and then edit them if needed within the RatedPower software. The users can also import US parcels via Prism. So Prism is another software that's included in the Enverus packages. And another feature is that previously defined sites can be used if they have a battery area defined. So even if you have a previous project that had a hybrid plant, so had a conjunction of a PV site and also like a battery energy storage site, if you upload that within the new interface dedicated to the standalone BESS, the software will automatically grab just the battery site and it will run all the calculations just dedicated and focused on the battery. Later on, we're going to go as well through all the tabs to see all the parameters that the users can configure, all the KPIs that they can have as well as part of their design and much more. So this is a very exciting update for us. It will unlock a lot of functionalities. This is just one release, and the first step towards a whole set of releases just focus on battery energy storage systems. Also in November, we released the model export tool, so users can now download the power flow model not only in the Excel file like they used to download it before, but also in standardized format, which is the version 33 of the raw format that is native to PSSE. This will save them a lot of hours of manual data entry by exporting directly the PV plant or the hybrid plant design in this raw format that can easily connect the RatedPower project with some of the most important and leading power system analysis tool like PSSE, Power Factory, and ETAP. This document can be found under the Power Flow Model section on the document output. So after running the design, the user can download these files, and then you'll see two types of files, the WCC equivalent and also the full AC model. So the WCC equivalent, as the name suggests, is like an equivalentation of all the AC systems of the plant, as suggested by the WCC standard. And the full AC model will be the full AC representation, so the full electrical representation of all the AC system of the plant, starting from the AC point, so the output of the inverters, and ending until the point of interconnection towards the grid. Moving on to the alternative logo in documentation. So this is also an interesting feature. This is for those users and companies that want to generate documentation using a different logo from their company logo. So the user can now enable this in settings under the document settings section. If they enable this, add your client's name and logo, they can add the client name and also they can upload a new logo. And then all the documentation will use this logo in order to generate a logo in the documents. So it's a very interesting release and also update for those companies who want to use like different logos as their main company logo. Moving on to December, And in December, we have another release regarding the standalone battery energy storage system, and this is the energy arbitrage. So with the energy arbitrage, users can perform techno-economic analysis using an arbitrage strategy to maximize battery energy storage system profits. So this is very common in the whole battery energy storage system world. So energy arbitrage is leveraging the volatility in price of energy during the day. So now the users can introduce these prices. If they have this template for these prices during the day, they can introduce a set of parameters as well for the battery. So the efficiency, the battery cycling, the state of different parameters for state of charge, the number of cycles, and so on. And then they can calculate the energy dispatch, the revenues, and also the expenses. As I said, yeah, they can customize the cycling, the degradation, the capex, the opex, and the energy prices in order to achieve like optimal results. And they can review these results then in the KPI section, but also like in the financial analysis document as part of the document output for the batteries. We're gonna see more of it, and we're gonna see it in our software as well. So it's a very interesting release, a very nice feature in order to run financial analysis and in order to see and maximize the financial aspect and the profits of the BESS system designed within RatedPower. Again, in December, the next release was the CRS, so the coordination system selection for the documents. So now RatedPower allows for better adoption for regional preferences. So with over 5,000 different CRSs globally, so the users can choose between these CRSs in order to generate a document. So these the users can select their preferred coordinate reference system, moving away from the limitation of just having the UTM coordinate system within the software. By default, the software will utilize UTM, but then you can change the CRS under the settings and document preferences. And by changing that, you can impact the layout drawings, you can impact the Excel terrain data, the structures, the piles of location, etc. So depending on where the site is positioned and which coordinate system you're using, you're going to impact documentation as well. So a very nice update and moving out of the limitation of just having the UTA zone for the coordinate reference system. So this one was the last update that we had for December. So now we can move, I guess, to the demo. Okay, so sorry about that. So here we have RatedPower, and the first thing that we can see in the main interface at home, we can see the notification bell here. So this is one of the releases of October, so the notification center. So if the users see the notification bell and if they see this yellowish orange point here, it means that you have notification pending of reviewing. In this case, yeah, we'll have these three notifications here. So you can read the title, you can see what this notification is about. There's different icons for different aspects of the software. So the battery icon, which means like we have a new feature regarding the battery. In this case, it's like the standalone battery energy arbitrage. And if you click on the notification, you will have like more information about it, and also like you will have the link to different specific documents or websites. So you can mark notifications as read once you get them, and like this you'll be able to get all the latest communications from RatedPower. Moving on from Notification Center, we can open our project and we can move to the standalone BESS. So prior to going to it, we can see that once we open our project and now in the new design, if the user click there, they will be presented with two options. So the PV design, so basically what we had previously as well, so PV, but also hybrid plant design. But now the users will have as well the standalone BESS. So if they click in the standalone BESS, they're going to be redirected to a user interface that is um, they're going to be redirected to an interface that is very similar to the legacy PV and hybrid system, but a bit limited only with the parameters that are relevant for the battery energy storage system design. So here we can have in the location tab, the site, as we said, we have the site, our in-house site creator. So the user can choose to create a new site, also to upload the KML and the KMZ file, and they can clone and edit currently selected sites. They can add a topography, so they have a topography file for their plant, and they can add like also like meteorological data for their plant. In the BESS tab, the users can edit the power conversion system, so choosing the storage inverter, editing the transformer losses to be taken into account for the energy calculation. They can change the capacity of the containers. They can add like requirements for the battery, so they can choose a specific capacity to size the battery, or can choose maximum capacity. They can change the layout, the PCS dimensions, the battery container dimensions, the distances as well between blocks, etc. And then we have the battery dispatch. As we said before, one of the releases as well in December was the introduction of battery dispatch as part of the whole energy arbitrage package that we have. So here the users can define different parameters that will impact this energy arbitrage feature. So here you have the efficiency, so the round trip efficiency of the battery cycling, so the initial state of charge, the minimum and maximum state of charge, and also like the cycles per day. And also users can introduce like a degradation factor, so yearly degradation factor, and also like an end of life state, which sets also like what is the end of life of the battery. So when this battery is considered to not be able to work and to provide energy storage anymore. Then in the grid point tab, you can, in the connection type, you can choose the MV level where this battery is going to be connected to. And also you can include like grid requirements. So you can choose like the required power factor at the point of interconnection. So in this case, in the end part of the battery energy storage system. And this will impact the resulting power factor of the storage inverter output. As part of the electrical tab, users can choose the cable sizing, so they can choose between 4 different standards, very similar to what we have in the PV plant as well. And also they can choose maximum voltage drop for their MV system. In the financial section, the users can choose like their own CAPEX template. In this case, we have like a default CAPEX template that is coming from the WECC. So here we have some default prices coming from WECC. For the OPEX there are some parameters like battery capacity, power, installed power, the battery area, fixed price, and also like an escalation factor, very similar as well to the PV plant or hybrid plant, and then the user can upload their energy prices through a CSV file. So these energy prices, so this variability between prices that the users is going to introduce together with the dispatch settings, is going to impact a lot the whole arbitrage output and all the financial KPIs of the design of this battery energy storage system. So having said that, we can move back to home. We can go to our hybrid system. So here, so another feature that I wanted to introduce was the company logo and the alternative logo as well, which can be reached in under settings and company logo as well. And here under the document preferences, the users, as we said, can change their coordinate reference system that will change the coordinates that is going to be used for the generating the documents. After running their design, as part of the document output, we've introduced this new section, which is called the Power Flow model. So here, as we said, the users can choose to download the WCC equivalent, which is presented in two versions, the Excel version, which was in the legacy version of the software as well, but now also like the raw format, specifically the version 33 of the raw format, and the full AC model, so the full AC electrical representation of the PV plant as well in a raw format. So having presented that, I guess that was the main things I wanted to present. Another reminder for our event for Pulse, so the renewable energy conference that is organized by RatedPower in 3rd and 4th of April of this year. So as I said before, the early tickets are out. You can find them in our website with a 50% off discount until February. And having said that, we can move to the question section. So in the GoToWebinar, you'll have like a question box where you can submit any questions. Don't see any question yet. I hope everything was clear then. If anyone wants to write anything, so no, if not any question, any comment, how do you feel about the releases? Do you think they're going to be helpful for your designs? So I got a question for Amer for starter company under 10 megawatts annually. Do you recommend to purchase? If yes, what is the accumulative price? So thank you very much for your question. Yeah, I would recommend to purchase for sure. I think that a lot of our features are a good fit for this type of projects, for this installed capacity. I don't think that I'm part of a product team, so I don't think I am going to be able to give you a specific price. It also depends on a lot of factors, on the users, if I'm not wrong, as well, that are going to use the software. But we're going to get in touch with you, and we can talk in separate session. Thank you very much for the question. Okay. Another question is like, is there any update regards the DC to AC at POI? Yes, we have the DC of and AC at the point of interconnection. So now the users can introduce actually the DC to AC at point of interconnection, and they can size the whole interconnection system and also their PV plant based on this DC-AC ratio. I can actually demo it very quickly for you. So you'll find it in the layout tab under the power requirements. So previously we had only like the DC to AC ratio at the inverters that the user could introduce. So now the users will be able to impact their DC to AC ratio at point of interconnection in this case. So have a calculation of how this, or an estimation of how this DC to AC ratio will be if they change the DC to AC ratio of the inverters. But if they select the strategy of sizing their plant and the whole interconnection system by introducing the DC to AC ratio at the point of interconnection, they can do that directly. And if we change that one, the software is going to automatically calculate the DC to AC ratio at the inverters. And it's also, as I said, going to size all the interconnection system and also the plant based on this DC to AC ratio requirement. The same for specific capacity. So this was for maximum capacity. So in the specific capacity, the users can introduce the DC to AC ratio at the point of interconnection, but they also can introduce the active power requirement that they have into the point of interconnection. So when they will change the active power requirement at the point of interconnection, the software will automatically calculate the rated power at the inverters. So by multiplying the size of the inverter by the number of inverters, and the DC to AC ratio at the inverters as well. So yeah, this update I think was released in Q3 last year, so that's why you didn't see it as part of the presentation today. I hope that answered your question. Okay, I see that for the DC to AC ratio, the question after the question, Dalia, you said that because it shows smaller value than the one we want for the design. If you want to add more, I don't really understand this comment. Or maybe this was possibly you before I present the feature. I don't see any other question, and for Dalia, I'm gonna try to contact you asynchronously in order to answer all your doubts and questions for the DC to AC ratio at the point of interconnection. So thank you very much for your attendance. I hope this was useful, and I hope that all the features that we released last quarter are going to be useful for your work and to design your PV plants, your hybrid plants, but also now your storage facilities. So thank you very much, and see you next update.